All right, now this solo is full of a bunch of really cool stuff that Santana tends to play, from slow stuff to staccato stuff to faster legato stuff. He's got it all happening, and that's what I've always really loved about him, is that, again, he takes a standard pentatonic, but then he embellishes on it to make it a bunch of really neat stuff. So the first thing we do before I start gabbing all over the place is let's just break down the licks in this thing, okay? So the first thing we do is we lead into the solo with this thing. Okay? Now what I'm doing there is I'm doing a hammer-on from 12 to 14, and then I'm playing 12, 14 on the 4th string, 12, 14 on the 3rd string, and then I'm going to the 13th fret of the 2nd string, and then back to the 14th fret of the 3rd string, which is my A. Because the song starts on that A minor, so I want to target that A. Okay? Then he's already en route doing this, thing there, right? So we've got next lick. So let's take that one. So lick number 2 here, we've got, okay? So what I'm doing is going 13, 14, and then 12 on the 2nd string. And then I'm going to bend that 12 up a half step. And then I'm going to do kind of a circle here. I'm going to go from 14 on the 3rd string to 12 and 13 on the 2nd string. So I have... And then I'm going to go back to the 14 on the 3rd string. And I'm going to hit it twice. Okay. Now this note right here, that 13 that I play, is going to match up with the rhythm section I was telling you about harmonic minor. Okay? In harmonic minor, that E chord normally, and again, don't worry about the theory if you don't understand it, but I just want you to have it available to you. The notes I'm playing in this E chord should be E, G, and B if I was playing an E minor chord, but I'm playing E major, so it's E, G sharp, and B. So boom, there's my G sharp. So he's aware of the fact that this note is being played. Instead of that note, he's playing that. And you get just this great sort of exotic flavor right there. So lick number 1 to lick number 2, you've got... And then... And feel how it's slow and then it speeds up, right? Again, I always refer to it as like when people solo, it's like falling over the cliff, right? I mean, you're on a roller coaster, you're getting to the top and it's kind of slow and then you start speeding up as you go. Well, that's what Santana's doing here. He's got this. And then boom, he kind of takes off over the top. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to drop down to the 5th fret and we're going to play in the standard A minor pentatonic spot here. So he's just back down in home base, if you will, right here. And what he's going to do is he's going to bend up. Well, he might, right? I'm stylistically doing a Carlos Santana thing here. So what I'm doing is I'm double pumping that bend on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So I'm bending it up twice. Okay? Then I'm going to anchor onto the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then I'm going to do a reverse bend. Okay, so I'm double pumping that whole step bend, 2 fret bend right here. So the 7 is becoming a 9. See that? And then I'm bringing it back down. Now the 8 and the 7, they can overlap each other. They don't have to. It gets a little dirty when you have them overlap each other. A bit more southern rock-ish, but it's not going to affect it whether you have them be independent like this, okay, or you have them overlap. You see, either way, it sounds pretty cool. So after we do that reverse bend, and a reverse bend is when it's already bent, and you bring it back home. So I'm bending it up twice. I'm anchoring to that 8. It's still up there. And then I'm going to pick it again, and I'm going to bring it back down. So I have... And then I'm going to head over to the 5 right there. of the third string, okay? So that's my third lick. Now my fourth lick is... And here, again, I'm over that E chord, that E major, so I'm using that G sharp right here. Okay? Another thing that's real unique to Santana is the fact that he uses other notes that are not pentatonic, not just the harmonic minor, but this guy right here. That right there. Which in a minor scale, we often refer to that as a ninth, okay? So he's using that. And lots and lots and lots of players do that. What makes that such an awesome note is that it breaks up the monotony of the pentatonic, because the pentatonic doesn't have any half steps. Where here you can see we're going from 5 to 4, and it just tends to add a bit more melody, which we did up here. You see, so it's pretty cool that we can do all that kind of stuff. So we've got our first lick, second lick, third lick, fourth lick. And what I'm doing there is I'm starting with my pinky on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and I'm doing 2 pull-offs. I'm pulling off to 5 and then pulling off to 4. Now you could slide if you'd rather. You could go 7 to 5 as a pull-off and then slide to 4. Whatever's good for you. I just like this because it sets up the rest of my lick. So I'm doing 2 pull-offs, going to the 7th fret of the 4th string, 6th fret of the 4th string. There's that harmonic minor note again, because it's happening over the top of that chord. And again, Santana is very well aware of that. It's part of his playing. It's a signature element of his playing. Then we're going to go back to the 7, which is the root, in the key of A, right? And then I'm going to go back to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Then I'm going to play 6 and 7, because at that point, he's back here. So I'm resolving the lick as Santana would do. See that? Okay. So that's the first segment. Now we still got a little ways to go here, but let's play this together. Let's put these licks together. And remember, if you need to, stop the video, practice for a while, right? Have some coffee, come on back, and we'll keep going. Okay, what I want you to walk away from is having the stylistic characteristics that make a cool Santana solo. It doesn't matter whether you understand it all, but that you can use a lot of the stuff that you're learning here. So the bottom line is you're in a minor key, you're in A minor in this case, and you're using a bunch of really cool licks. Whether or not you know what a ninth is, whether or not you know what harmonic minor is, I don't want you to stress about that stuff, but I want it there so someday if you come back and go, oh, you know, I didn't know harmonic minor, but I learned how to do all this stuff, but now I do. Well, it's going to make more sense, and it's going to elevate your playing to that next level anyway, right? So let's take a look at this together, starting at lick number 1. So we're going to go like this. Ready? Here we go. Here comes the second lick. Third lick. Double pump, connect, reverse bend. Now you could pick that twice if you wanted to. You know, I mean, have some fun with this. If you want to go, sounds pretty cool if you pick that 5 twice. It's not a big difference, but it sounds pretty cool. Right, that's pretty cool. And now we've got this harmonic minor kind of lick. And then we're going to end that, because then it goes to the that chord, the E7 sharp 9, right? We're going to do this. So we're playing a little arpeggio there. See that? Okay, so what I'm doing there is I'm starting with my middle finger on 5. I'm doing a pull-off from 5 to 4 on the 3rd string. Then I'm going to go to my ring finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string and my pinky on the 7th fret of the 5th string.